Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have found myself in coastal Oregon in a little town called Yachts. Behind me is the most beautiful coastline I maybe have ever seen. The trees, the mountains, the water, it's just the best. Yesterday we were able to see some whales. I believe they were gray whales migrating. And then we could see them blowing the water up out of their blowholes, and it was just the coolest. So we got to stay here again, and I'm so grateful I get to share it with you. For today's gentle practice, we will be utilizing 2 blocks and a strap. For our blocks, if we do not have physical yoga blocks, little pillows will work, rolled up towels, blankets, that kind of stuff. If we do not have a strap, we'll want to use a belt, even a long towel. Kitchen towels will work really well for today. And yeah, when we're ready, we're gonna get started lying flat on the back. Take your time to get here. Not in any rush. We're not in any hurry. Have your blocks and strap within reach, somewhere towards the top of your mat so you can easily grab them. Making your way gently and mindfully onto the back, not in any rush, not in any hurry. Resting the back of the head down onto the mat, shoulders draw down the back. Send the legs long at first. Anchor down in the heels, flop the feet from side to side. Hands on the belly, close the eyes, just breathe. Continuing with movement in the legs if you choose. Come into stillness if it's comfortable. Now, if this puts a lot of pressure on the lower back, if this is uncomfortable or takes the breath away, walk the feet up close to the glutes. Tuck the tailbone, replant the lower back. Keep the feet planted. So option to have feet planted, option to have legs long, hands on the belly wherever you are. Let the shoulders melt. Start to relax the muscles of the face. Let the head get heavier. Shoulders drop back down to the mat. Keep breathing. Without having to ask the breath to be different. Don't try to control the breath. Just let it flow in and out. Keeping the eyes rested. Take all of your focus on to every breath. Feeling the breath enter the body, expand the lungs as you inhale. Feel that breath exit the body slowly, mindfully, as the lungs slowly empty. Pause at the bottom and top of each breath. Inhaling as slowly as you can, as if you were sipping a milkshake. Take your time. When you find fullness, again we pause at the top and the bottom of each breath. Naturally slowing down the heartbeat, organically calming the mind. Focus only on the breath. Finding the slowest breath that we can create. Take as much time with each breath as you can, as the mind will allow. The value of slow breathing is immense. For example, the sea turtle can take up to 1 hour to take a full breath. They're some of the oldest living animals on Earth. Knowing that breath is the vitality, get yourself here, into your body, onto your mat. As each inhale washes the mind, brings you closer to the now. Every exhale drains the thoughts that no longer serve you. Getting comfortable with maintaining these slow, mindful breaths. Dragging the feet up close to the glutes if you haven't already. Feet directly in line with the glutes. Keep these slow breaths. Every time you move the body, check back in with the breath. Just because we start to move doesn't mean we let go of the focus being on our pranayama. As we cactus the arms, elbows in line with the shoulders, palms face up, softening into the upper body. Notice the breath. Heel toe the feet out wide to the very edges of the mat. Lifting into all of the toes, fan them out wide, ground down into the four corners of the feet. Breathe. So we pivot on the four corners of the feet. Let windshield wiper the knees. Let them fall from one side to the other. Pairing these movements with breath, moving slowly, inhaling as the knees come into center. Exhaling as the knees fall to the side. Actively pressing the inside of the fallen knee down. Inhaling, knees to center. Exhale, knees fall to the side. Staying with your breath. Stay with these movements. Noticing if we're holding any tension in the face and the jaw. Wiggle around the brow, wiggle out the jaw. Staying movement to breath wherever you are. As the knees guide back to center on the next inhalation, walking the feet up close to the glutes, as close as the feet can get to the glutes. Then taking the hands down by the sides, palms face down, we're going to tuck the hands under the glutes. Tucking the wrists under the glutes, trying to reach, almost to where we can scrape those heels. Pinning the wrists with the glutes. Use the weight of the body to pull the shoulders down the back. See if we can inch the neck a little longer, crown of the head to the top of the mat. Stay grounded in the feet. Coming back to breath. Staying grounded in the feet. Inhale to get the neck just a little bit longer. And on the exhale, look to the left. Take the gaze to the left ear onto the mat. Stretch out the neck. Breathe. In and out through the nose. As we stay with slow breaths, start to make every inhale just as long as the exhale. building a rhythm in your breath. Relaxing the head and the neck, relaxing the shoulders on every exhale, melting into the body. Our only effort is to the breath. Two more full belly breaths. Letting go of the tasks to do, the things lingering in the mind. Coming in to this very moment alone. The bottom of that next exhale, inhale, bring the head back into center. Wiggle out the jaw, move around the brow. Lightly rock the head from side to side to neutralize. If it's in your practice, if it feels good in your body, you can leave the hands as they are. If you wish, you can remove the arms from under the glutes, roll out the wrists. If you'd like something a little different, maybe something a little more, we can flip the palm up under the glutes. Keeping that pin, maybe not as easy, but then opening the other side of the wrist, keeping the shoulders pulled down, get a little longer in the neck. Inhale, make space between each vertebrae of the neck. Exhale, look to the right. Take that right ear down to the mat. On every exhale, let the body soften a little more. Breathing is key. Asking every inhale to nourish the parts of the body that need it the most. Bring oxygen to those tight places. And exhale to drain out whatever is not serving you. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Two more breaths. On the bottom of that exhale, inhale the head back into center. Rock the head from side to side, just a little to neutralize. Unpin the wrist, take those arms out, roll out the wrist. As you walk the feet into touch, soles of the feet come to touch, butterfly the knees out open. Wiggle those toes together. If this is a lot for the hips, offer blocks under the knees. Support is so valuable. The body is not willing to release if it does not feel safe. So if this here feels at all like a lot, or this is really pushing your edge, I recommend you finding even the smallest amount of support. Notice what can change for you. This is not about pushing yourself. This is not about finding the deepest stretch you possibly can. This is about honoring your body exactly where it is. Rolling out those wrists. Spread the fingers wide and roll out the wrists. Wiggle through the fingers if that feels good. As we keep the elbows planted down by the sides, by the ribs, spread the fingers wide, face the palms towards one another. As we then tuck the thumbs in, you're going to wrap the forefingers around both thumbs. Keeping that thumb tucked tight, rock the wrists back and forth. Pressing the fist down and pulling it towards you. You'll feel it. Breathe. Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Notice if we start to furrow the brow because of sensations, soften the face. Keeping that thumb squeezed and pinned, start to find circles in the wrists if it's in your practice. If that's a lot, back off. Just maybe slightly tuck the thumb or leave the thumb untucked. Keep the wrists rolled. Breathe. Rotating in both directions, being mindful of switching. So then bring the hands back into center. We're going to Frankenstein the arms. Reach the hands up to the sky right in front of you. Palms facing down. Drop the shoulders down to the mat. Press the shoulder blades down and together. Shoulders drop into the girdle, the shoulder socket. As we spread the fingers wide, bring the fingertips to face the top of the mat. It's almost like you're in a plank position, like you're doing a push-up, but in the air. Drop the shoulder blades down. Palms open, fingers spread wide. Pull those fingertips towards the tops of the arms. This is not meant to be easy. You got it. Breathe. Keep pulling all 10 fingers, or however many fingers you have. Pull them towards the top of the arms. Pull them down towards the ground. As you inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Keep pulling those fingers down to the ground. See if we can meet those fingers down. Opening the hands, opening the wrists. If it feels good to you, bend to the elbows. Bring the palms to the mat. Bring the fingertips to the mat. Start stretching the hands. Option to walk the hands back by the ears. Get the full palm on. Rock the elbows from side to side. Move around the shoulders. Notice what feels good. I mean, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Drawing them in, stretching out the fingers, and then slowly returning. Shake out those hands. Roll out the wrists, arms out to a T, palms face up. Where's the breath? Coming back to that slow and mindful breath. Bringing both hands back in front of us, Frankenstein arms reaching forward, palms face down. Drop the shoulder blades down into the ground. Bring the palms facing one another as we reach the right arm over to the left. We're going to cross the crease of the left elbow. Pull that arm in. This is a familiar shoulder stretch. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Taking that left arm to press the right arm down. Try to keep the right arm locked if it's in your practice. If we need to keep a slight bend in the elbow, that's okay. Do what feels good. Try to keep that right shoulder blade anchored. See what changes. If you'd prefer to let that right shoulder twist. This feels good. Breathe. One more exhale here. Inhale, Frankenstein arms both in front of us. On the exhale, reach the left arm over to the right. Bring the crease of the right arm to pull that right arm in. Gathering that in. If you want more from this, lock that left elbow. Pressing into the arm, twisting over, breathe. One more exhale here. So we slowly bring both hands down by the sides. Gather the legs with the hands. Bring the knees back into touch. Knees into touch, walk the feet out wide, counterbalance that stretch, hands on the belly. 2 big breaths here. Thanking the shoulders, thanking the arms, the hands, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the feet. Start to wave the whole body with gratitude. So we then take our strap in hand. We're going to gather that strap over the knees as we pull the knees in towards the ribs. Taking that strap over the shins, pulling the knees in towards the ribs. Try to keep a flat spine. Head stays anchored, shoulders stay dropped. Spine is long and grounded. Roll out the ankles, scrunch and flex the feet. Scrunching those toes in, spreading those toes wide, pulling the feet in towards the shins, pointing the toes, ankle rolls. Notice what you need. And the second you start to move the ankles, move the feet, start wiggling it around, the more they will guide you to what they need. And lightly shaking out the feet just to dissipate a little bit of that heat if you found any. Bring the knees in just a little bit closer. Try to untuck the tailbone. Find a little bit more length in that spine. As we continue the use of the strap, we're going to stay with the breath. Inhale as we lower the knees down to the bottom of the mat. Exhale as we pull the knees in towards the belly. Squeeze them in. Stay with your breath. Inhaling to lower, open, let the belly expand. Exhale, squeeze out the breath. It's a great way to massage the organs. Great way to massage the core and get things moving. If we ever feel bloated, if we ever feel gassy, this is a great way to stimulate the body. Bring blood flow to all the lower organs of the body by bringing awareness and breath. Keep the brow soft. As we turn these movements into circles, use the strap to guide the knees around. Keep the shoulders planted. Keep the head planted. Use the strap to guide. Breathe. Switching directions when you're ready. Massaging the sacrum with the body weight, massaging the glutes. 2 more breaths here. As the knees guide back into center, give yourself a hug and a squeeze. If it's in your practice today, wind removing pose, pull the knees in, draw the chin up to the knees, squeeze third eye in towards the navel, make yourself small. On the exhale, slowly lower the head down to the mat. Lower the left foot down to the mat. Keeping the strap over the right knee, adjust as necessary. I like to really wrap that strap around my hands so I don't fatigue the fingers. Left foot can stay planted, or you can send the left leg long as you pull the right knee in. Rolling out the right ankle. Give it some individualized attention. Pulling that right knee into the ribs, or notice if you'd rather take it out to the armpit. Yogi's choice. Right ankle rolls in both directions with the toes spread and with the toes scrunched. Thanking this foot, thanking this ankle, thanking this shin, thank this knee, thank this hip, this whole right leg. Thanking it as the individual. Just for existing, not even what it does, but thank you for being there. As the foot and ankle come back into center, use the strap. Find circles with the single knee. Draw it around in every direction. Switching directions when you need. Try to find the edge of these circles. Try to draw the biggest circle you can with this knee, pulling it in as far as you can, over to the left as far as you can, down and around. Getting a full range of motion from this. And bringing that knee back into center. Take 2 big breaths. Slowly lowering the right foot down to the mat. Planting that right foot, windshield wiper the single knee. Rock that knee from side to side. Getting things moving again. Bring that knee back to center. Pull the left foot up in line with the hip. Guide the strap over the left knee. Bring that leg in close. Option to keep the right foot planted. Option to send the right leg long. So we use that strap to pull that left knee in. Keep the shoulders anchored, head anchored. Roll out the left ankle. Notice the individuality of this foot, of this ankle. Notice if it feels different from the other side. So we start to thank this left leg all on its own. Thanking these toes, this foot, this ankle, this knee. Thank the shin, the calves. Thank the quads, the hamstrings. I could go on. All the way up to the hip. That ankle comes back into center, find circles with the left knee. Finding the edge of these circles, pulling it in as far as you can, as far to the right, down and around. Getting everything you need from this. Switching directions when it feels bad. 2 more breaths here. Get everything your body's craving from it. Knee comes back into center. Give it a hug, give it a squeeze. Bring in the love. Slowly lower that left foot down to the mat. Windshield wiper the single knee. That blood flow comes back through. Bring the right foot in line with the left. Bringing ourselves back into center. We want to keep our strap within reach. We're going to roll onto the right side body. Rolling onto the right side body in a supported fetal position. Taking a moment to get here. Now we can have support with the right arm if we choose. We could have a block under the head. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take a block under the head. It just feels good to me. Oh, that's nice, right? So you just find yourself. You can give yourself a hug here. You can have the arms out, hands at prayer, whatever feels good. Come to this position intuitively. Laying on the side, thanking the body. Now we're going to find some alignment here. Starting at the top of the head, create length in the neck. So we focus on rolling onto the side. So thinking about having the shoulders stacked still. Obviously we're not having to lay on the arm. We don't have to kink the back, but try to find a long spine. Shoulders in line with hips. Notice if we're rounding in either way. Hand to the left hip, right hand in front of us, palm face up. Breathe. We're going to find one of my favorite stretches for the trap as well as the psoas. Taking the left hand, we're going to reach for the top outside of the left foot. Now, if we can grab the left foot, perfect, grab it. If you cannot grab the left foot, use your strap. Use a strap or a towel, but bridge that gap. Find that place where we can have the thighs stacked, have the hips stacked, have a grip on this left foot. Wherever you are, whether we're using support of the strap or grabbing onto the foot, I want you to pull the left shoulder down. Keeping the left shoulder relatively pulling forward to stay stacked with the right shoulder. Right knee bent, left knee bent. Flex into the left foot. Flex hard. That means pull the toes towards the shins. You might have to end up grabbing the ankle. That's okay. As we keep the left shoulder pulling down, Guide the right foot back in line, or that left foot, excuse me, back in line with the glute. Notice what changes now. It starts to open up the shoulder because we're not lifting the foot up here, we're bringing it down in line with the body. This is a supported dancer. Option to extend the right leg if you want a little bit more stability, something a little different. Totally up to you, because this would truly be a supine dancer with that right leg long, right hand out, grabbing this left foot with the strap or the hand. Just like we do in dancer, we're going to begin to kick the left leg back. Kicking that left leg back behind us. You can kick it back behind you. You can kick it down. That's going to pull this left shoulder down. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Breathe. Opening the heart, opening the belly, coming to a micro back bend if you choose, kicking that left leg a little harder. Get a good stretch into that left quad. Breathing deep, kicking back. 2 more breaths here. Also known as a half floor bow. So our floor bow is when we're on the belly and we have both legs grabbed, kicking up. This is going to be a half variation of it. 1 more inhale, kick, kick, kick. And the exhale, slowly bring it back. Send both legs long, left arm up overhead, kick and reach, point the toes down, reach the left arm up. Left arm comes back down to center, full body stacked on the left side. Hips stacked, shoulders stacked, legs stacked, left arm laying on top, right arm stays in front of us. Neck is long. Breathe. Just to rebalance. As we then roll on to our other side, taking our left hand down to the mat, rolling on to the belly, bringing ourselves to a left side, left supported position. Into both. flat onto the belly. You can bring a third eye onto the block. You can tuck the elbows in, flip the palms up, or option to reach the hands down by the sides, palms face up. Option to take one of the ears to the mat, left or right. So you could turn the head and fully pancake, or you could have the option to keep the support under the third eye and the elbows tucked. Whatever your shoulders need, just breathe. Noticing the rise and the fall of the belly. As if this were strength training for the lungs. Inhaling to lift the spine up to the sky. And exhaling to slowly lower the spine closer to the mat. One more breath. Bending into both knees, bring the soles of the feet to face the sky. Pull the toes towards the shins, flexing both feet. Windshield wiper the legs. Let the feet fall from one side to the other. Releasing the lumbar, the sacrum. Giving the body love from every direction. 2 more breaths into these windshield wipers. So the feet come back to center. Gently rest the feet onto the mat. As we drag the hands up below the shoulders, peel the body up to a tabletop, one vertebrae at a time. Bring the knees under hips, hands below shoulders, fingers spread wide. Tuck the chin here. Keeping a flat spine, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Keep the chin tucked. One more breath. On the bottom of that exhale, inhale, cow. Drop the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the gaze to the sky. Exhale, cat. Round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Then finding a neutral spine, bring the knees out wide, toes come to touch. On the inhale, press the heart forward, take the gaze forward. Exhale into child's pose. Tailbone guides back. We can drop down onto the forearms, stack the fist, rest the third eye. We can send the arms long, reaching up overhead, bring the third eye down to the mat. Maybe some combination of both. If the ground ever feels far away, we can bring blankets, blocks, towels under the body, the torso, and the head. This feels like a lot in the shoulders today. Drape the arms down by the sides, palms face the sky. When you arrive, sigh it out. Do as little as possible here. Putting no effort into thought, no effort into body. Just exist. Surrendering for 3 more slow breaths. On the very bottom of that breath, extend the body long, lie flat onto the belly. Option to have the third eye on the mat and the elbows tucked. Option to take one ear to the mat with the arms draped down by the sides. Coming back to the rise and the fall of that belly. Option to take our final Shavasana here on the belly. Maybe gathering up a pillow, gathering up the arms. You can even rest the third eye on the hands. You choose Shavasana on the belly. Take the legs out a little wider than you usually do. Tops of the feet flat. If you would rather have your final Shavasana lying flat on your back, please take it. So you come into the final few moments of this practice. Final few moments of activation before we fall into a deep relaxation. Find anything in the mind, the body, the emotions that we can cleanse, that we can release. With this breath, like a vacuum, gather it up on the inhale. And let it drain out on the exhale. As you rest the eyes, rest the mind, completely surrender the body. Slowly begin to notice the breath. Ballooning the inhales into the belly. Exhaling softly to notice where you are. Finding movement in each one of the fingers, wiggling all of the toes. Rolling out the wrists and the ankles until you reach the arms up overhead. Find a good morning style stretch. Then rolling on to your right side in a supported fetal position. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Thanking yourself for your breath, your presence, this body for its resilience. Taking 2 breaths just to share a little life into this body we've had so many experiences with. Everything you have been through together. Using the strength of your arms to gently press yourself up into a comfortable seat, let us share a single breath together, sealing our practice today. Rubbing the hands together, creating energy between the hands, creating heat, life, warmth. Bringing the hands to heart center, Anjane Mudra. Empty the lungs together as we together bring in a slow, deep, mindful inhale all the way to the top. Bring in a little bit more. One more sit. A little bit more. Then we let it go. Lo kasamas tasokin no bhavan. May your entire universe be filled with peace, joy, love, and light. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was great, wasn't it? I hope you feel good. I hope your mind feels good. I hope your body feels well. And again, I'm so glad you got to join me here. I look forward to seeing you next time. Mwah.